Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews. We have some news, but before we get into that, I just want to remind you guys to make sure that you hit that subscribe button as well as that bell next to it to be notified of any videos that I post here on the channel, and make sure you hit that thumbs up as that helps the channel out greatly every time you do that. Anyway, on with the news. The very first thing I want to tell you guys about is actually some very interesting news from Safari Ltd, as we had heard quite a while back that they acquired the rights to the Dino Dana toy line. They have recently unveiled some new figures from the Safari Ltd Dino Dana line, and they are basically just repaints of previously released figures. And the very first one that we have is the feathered Tyrannosaurus, and it has a really cool looking paint scheme to it. Really nice, really flashy, but at the same time very natural. I actually meant to cover this in my last news video, but I ended up forgetting to include it, so I figured I would throw it in this one. Definitely a really cool looking paint scheme, and I will actually have a review up of this figure very soon. And there are also some baby dinosaurs that they have repainted to give the Dino Dana screen accurate paint schemes, so some really fun stuff coming from Safari Ltd, and I'm excited to see what they produce for the Dino Dana line in the future. And then as far as Passion Charger goes, the scene with the Acrocanthosaurus hunting down a Tyrannosaurus is officially finished and up for sale, so you can order this currently, I believe, in 1/35th scale. I do believe there will be a 1/20th scale version as well, but you can see these images showing off just how incredible this looks. I love both models. It's nice to see a Tyrannosaurus just to get a little bit of love because it's an often overlooked species of dinosaur, but that Acrocanthosaurus looks gorgeous as well, and the entire scene portrayed here just looks honestly unbelievable. Beautifully sculpted, beautiful detailing throughout both figures, and I love the genuine look of fear on that Tyrannosaurus's face. Absolutely incredible, once again by Passion Charger, so make sure if you are interested in this, you check the link in the description, as I will have a link there straight to Passion Charger on Facebook, or you can contact me and I will contact them for you. And then as far as Rebor goes, they gave us a look at two of the prototypes for their upcoming Retrosaurs, as we have that kind of Invicta style Tyrannosaurus, and I think it looks great here on the prototype. We have seen the 3D model images previously, but this is the first time I believe that we've actually seen the prototypes, and it looks great. I cannot wait to get my hands on this. But even more so than the Tyrannosaurus is this really cool Ceratosaurus. I think I'm more excited about the Ceratosaurus than anything. It honestly reminds me so much of something I would have seen in a Harryhausen film, so I'm really partial to this one, but I definitely want to get a hold of both. And in even more exciting, potentially for some people, news, Rebor is actually going to be making a more scientifically accurate, big chunky style Tyrannosaurus Rex, and it even includes lips, which we can see from these images here, so that is really interesting. Obviously the sculpt here is in the early stages, as we don't see too much texturing or anything to it, but you can definitely see a very thick appearance to the Rex, as well as a lot of muscle tone. Definitely something that's really cool to see coming from Rebor, because they don't give us scientifically accurate dinosaurs too often, and I'm definitely psyched to see this one getting a release. And then as far as Nanmu goes, we have a look at the final paint scheme of their upcoming Jurassic Park style bull Tyrannosaurus Rex, and just like the other two, it is unbelievable, and at this point I honestly cannot pick a favorite. This is a pretty common trend when it comes to Nanmu to continuously deliver incredible paint schemes to the point where it's impossible sometimes to pick a favorite, but this is definitely one of those times, because these three Tyrannosaurs in this line, in this release, are just unbelievable. Beautiful, very Lost World Jurassic Park male Tyrannosaurus style sculpt, which I was beyond excited about to begin with, but seeing the different paint schemes that they are releasing has me even more excited, and honestly they all look absolutely unbelievable. And as well as Nanmu, we have the official unveiling of their Brachiosaurus. Obviously it's not fully finished here, as we do have a little bit of work yet to go as far as like a pose and everything, but I think as far as a Jurassic Park style Brachiosaurus goes, they 1000% nailed it, and this is going to be the definitive version of a JP style Brachiosaurus if you ask me. It just looks insanely nice as far as the sculpting and detailing aspect. Nanmu just continues to improve each and every time, and at this point I feel like every single thing that they've been releasing within the last few releases has been so spot on to what they actually looked like in the films that it's just honestly blowing my mind. Yet another insanely beautiful release coming from Nanmu. And then as far as PNSO goes, we have another model that was just unveiled on us, and it is an absolutely gorgeous and incredibly chubby Tarbosaurus, which is really exciting to see, and definitely a very cool species that we don't have too many figures of, so I'm really excited to get one from PNSO, as they've been releasing some of the best versions of each species that they release that I've ever seen from anybody. This one obviously has a very up-to-date and big and bulky look, which I love. This one's even chunkier, I would say, than Wilson was, so this is a very, very cool looking figure, and again, a beautiful, very natural looking paint scheme on the Tarbosaurus. So as usual, PNSO is continuing to absolutely kill it. And then as far as the Beasts of the Mesozoic line goes, we have a little sneak peek here of the fully painted prototype of the 1/35th scale Tyrannosaurus Rex, and it looks beautiful, absolutely beautiful. You can definitely get a good idea of what the model looks like with the nice paintwork on it, but David has mentioned that he will be releasing a full gallery soon, so I guess we'll just go ahead and eagerly anticipate the gallery's release, because I can't wait to see some more up-close images of this. Also, as far as Guilherme Bilinski art goes, we have a look at the final Littlefoot figure, the Land Before Time Littlefoot model that he is currently in the process of creating. Well, he's no longer in that process because he has finished it, and you can see that it honestly looks picture perfect. Like, there could not possibly be a more perfect interpretation of Littlefoot from the Land Before Time, whether it's the sculpt, whether it's the paint. Everything is so insanely picture perfect that it's just mind-boggling to me. This is definitely going to be a popular model from Guilherme Bilinski art, so if you are interested in this, I will include a link in the description to where you can contact him so that you can reserve one for yourself. If you are interested, I would highly recommend doing that straight away, because Guilherme Bilinski's art is usually quite limited and it will not last long with something this awesome. When it comes to Land Before Time, we haven't really had too much touch it in a very long time since the actual Land Before Time films were out, so make sure that you head to the description after the video is over, contact Guilherme Bilinski art, and place an order for this insanely awesome Littlefoot model right away. And the final thing that I have here, and this was brought to my attention by Amaya Leighton on Instagram, and that is the inbox image from Mattel of the upcoming Dino Escape Camp Cretaceous Allosaurus. And this was one that I was really excited about as far as the initial images go, but I will say that I'm actually a little bummed out that they changed the paint scheme on it. You can definitely see when you look at the initial image of the Allosaurus compared to the newer one, we obviously have replaced that kind of lighter greenish color for a white, and I'm hoping that honestly that is not the final design. I prefer the previous version, I think, but at the same time, it's still a really cool looking Allosaurus, and I'm excited to get another version of the Allosaurus, but personally, I definitely preferred the previous paint scheme over this current one. But we'll just really have to wait and see, I guess, when the figure actually releases, exactly which paint scheme we're going to get. Seeing the one here in box makes me think it's probably going to be this one, but who really knows when it comes to Mattel. We also have a look as far as inbox images of Mattel figures go. We have a look at Baryonyx Chaos, which looks really quite nice, honestly. In this newest image, I definitely dig the overall appearance of it, looking pretty much just like Chaos looks in Camp Cretaceous. And then we also have an image of the Ouranosaurus in box, and this figure I just get more and more excited about every single time I see a new image of it. You can also see kind of a sneak peek of where we operate the action feature from, which is, in my opinion, a little bit of a downside, honestly. I don't like how blatant and obvious that action feature button is, but hopefully they'll release another at some point in the future where we do not have that action feature there right on the side, kind of out in the open. But again, it still looks like a great figure, just not my first choice as far as where the button for the action feature would go. So as of right now, guys, that's all the news I've got. When more comes out, I'll be sure to send it your way, but until then, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.